Is this something good? I asked kindly for something good. I mean, it's not terrible. Okay, so this is an interesting this is an interesting 5-year chart. Hit its peak right around the current price, actually, right around this current price of between 30 and 30, well, actually no. So 32.94 on Friday, but it peaked in May, it looks like. Again, this is a month chart, so these numbers might not be completely accurate, but it peaked at 34.16, which is close to what it was back at its previous high back in July of 2018. Continued to slump down then right up until now. If you were living under a rock during 2020, during COVID, and you were to crawl out of that rock and look at this chart, you wouldn't. I don't think you'd be able to tell that COVID ever happened. If anything, you would think that something fantastic happened to the world in March, April of 2020, because that is when this chart stopped its seemingly natural, continuous downtrend and began to turn around, which is very weird. But I mean, it did, and it eventually got back to the point to the high that it was at about 2 years prior. But then it bounced off that high. It said no, thank you, and decided to bounce back off of it, making what I can make an argument for a 5-year double top, which is not something you see forming every day. So I am willing to say that that is the definitive resistance line for this stock, unless something proves otherwise. So why are you comparing Echo to this ZTO? 3 reasons to think yes. New strong buy stocks for June 9th, which was yesterday? No, that was 3 days ago. How is it the 12th already? Jeez. Why does it keep comparing Echo to ZTO? I need to look at that. Transportation services. ZTO Express Cayman? Okay, apparently Zax likes this over that ZTO. But I still don't know what sectors they're in, what exactly they do. I should read about what this company does first before I read any further, I think. Provides technology-enabled transportation and supply chain management solutions in the United States. Platform to compile and analyze data from its multimodal network of transportation providers for the transportation and logistics needs. Company offers services in various transportation modes such as truckload, less than truckload. Bit of a weird term. So it almost sounds like they don't do transportation, but they make solutions to enable transportation. Which is fine, I suppose. Okay, so apparently Zax thinks Echo is the better buy. 3 solid reasons why it's yes. Yes, give me 3 reasons. Reason 1, earnings growth is arguably the most important factor. Historical EPS growth rate is 19.1. Investors should actually focus on the projected growth. The company's EPS is expected to grow 60.5. Is this going to be another company that has a giant tick up in expected earnings? No, actually. This is a fairly reasonable, continuous chart. I like this quarterly chart, but I can't tell if it's only going up because they're coming out of potentially being affected by COVID, because this annual chart tells a different story in that kind of up and down, can never really tell if they're doing good in a year or not until the year is over. I'm not too sure what to make of that, but at least for now, that kind of makes me wary as to whether or not they can meet this estimate for quarter two. And if they can't, you're going to see a major correction probably. But Zax apparently thinks it's a strong buy. I don't know if I'm terribly convinced. I don't know if I'm terribly convinced that it's a buy, because I don't know. I can easily attribute those growing revenues and earnings in the last couple of quarters to return to normalcy from COVID. And if it turns out that's the case, and it starts to kind of start going up and down, potentially sideways with those earnings, maybe even starting with the next quarter, then I don't know. You can be in dangerous territory with this stock then, bud. So because of that, and the fact that it can go up, if it turns out that the rise in the last few months is not or the last few quarters is not necessarily coming out of COVID related. So because of that chance that it can go up, I'm willing to give it a hold, but obviously I'm not going to give it a buy, because that chance is not enough. It's not a clear cut rise. It's a rise depending on circumstances and information that I'm not privy to. And I don't think it's a sell, because again, that chance that it can go up is there. And it's definitely not 100% going to go down or sideways. It can, but there's no guarantee that it will. So there's my justification for a hold.